Hey folks, this is Gray here, and today we're going to be looking at the Opus Mega 3 portable power station. Now folks, this thing packs a huge punch, coming in at 3600 watts and 3072 watt hours. As we do on most reviews of portable power stations, what we're going to do is break this down into several chapters. If you want to skip through certain things and get to certain parts, you can just go down below and it'll let you skip through the chapter that you want to kind of pay attention to, or what may be most important to you. That being said, first we're going to go over the Black Friday special. Second, we're going to go over specifications. Third, we'll go over the front panel and inputs and outputs of the device. I like the fact that it does have wheels for something that weighs over 83 pounds, so that's awesome. And last but not least, we're also going to do some testing of the unit with a hot plate and a roll-around AC unit. We'll push it to its limitations, see how well the unit does. We'll look at couple different other odds and ends here and there, depending on what pops up, if there's any error codes or whatnot. And then we'll wrap it up with me. And if you want to stay tuned, there's going to be a bonus to this at the end or towards the end in regards to what Opus is going to be doing for the November 21st, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream mega giveaway. All right, and so regards to the Black Friday blowout that Opus is having, and a lot of other companies are having this, but being, as you guys have probably noticed, I've been talking about Black Friday, because this is the time of the year that companies love to put those deep discounts for folks that are trying to buy something for emergency preparedness, for loved ones, or gifts, or for yourself. This is the time that you can save a lot of money. Now, I think if I equated this right, don't get my math sometimes is a little off, folks, but I think it equates around 71 cents per watt hour. Now, that being said, the unit will be on sale for $2,099. I like to say just $2,100 just to make it simple. And one great thing about this unit, it's expandable with B2 batteries. But we'll get into that in specifications. Outside of that, this is the time to save. You're saving almost $1,000 off the unit. Let's say you don't need the Mega 3. You maybe want the Mega 5. That's on sale. Let's say you just need a Opus 1800, which I reviewed, I don't know, a year or so ago. And you want something like that. All their products, every single one, everything they have on their site will be on sale for this Black Friday special. And again, I'm excited because Opus has been very kind, and they are going to be giving me something to give away to you folks. So again, stay tuned. All right, so let's jump into the specifications of the Mega 3. I've gotten some notes so I don't get things wrong, because, you know, from time to time I make those mistakes. Anyways, folks, this does have 3,500 life cycles, and it is a lithium iron phosphate battery. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are a lot better than your lithium ion batteries, which is an older kind of technology. They're just a lot more, they weigh a little bit more, but they are a lot more efficient. Now, there's some new batteries coming out, and you'll probably see that here next year in 2024. Again, it's 3,072 watt hours, and basically that breaks down to what you're trying to power with a unit like this. Being if it's like you're trying to power a, let's say, a refrigerator, a deep freezer, any type of those devices. Now, there's certain devices that this thing will be more efficient at versus in trying to power your entire home. Some folks who have maybe a small apartment or something like that, they get a transfer box and you can do all the, bells and whistles and run a small home. But if you have, 4, 5, 6 bedroom, maybe you're living on the top of the hill in this monster homestead, which I would love, but, then you might have some more issues where you need to add some of those extra additional batteries or maybe move up to the Mega 5. This does have an uninterruptible power supply, which I love when a portable power station has those. And the reason being is because uninterruptible power supplies means the grid shuts down, the power goes off, your stuff stays on. That machine will kick on, use its battery power to keep all your appliances, lights, or whatever you have plugged into this thing running. It also does support battery management system. Basically, that protects the battery. It has fail-safes so that if something happens to the unit itself, overheating or whatnot, it's going to throw error codes at it before it does anything catastrophic. Now, one huge thing about this unit that I really thought was really cool is its fast charging times. So I wrote down, if you're just going to use AC, if you're just going to use grid power to charge this thing, let's say you order one, you get it home, and you're like, yes, I got the Mega 3. I'm going to charge this bad boy. How long will it take? Well, using an AC from your wall, standard 15 amp AC coming out of your wall, maybe some folks have 20 amps, depending, but the average is about 15 amps. This can push up to 1,800 watts from the grid. Basically, it takes the power from your 120, coming into that, it amps it up and kind of does some little magic in there, and boom, you have 1,800 watts. You can also set it for a slow AC charge, depending on what your situation is. You know what I mean? Like some people would call it a trickle charge, but it's a little bit more than that. And it'll max out about 900 watts, so in half. Now, here's the caveat. I mean, not caveat, but here's the big kicker to this, folks. For folks who have solar, all solar is not created equally. So if you're going to use this in sunny Florida, awesome. You know what I mean? Now, if you're going to use it in cloudy Alaska, maybe not so awesome, depending on your situation and how much sunshine you get. But this thing is capable of pushing 2,100 watts of solar into the unit itself. Again, I'm going to repeat that, 2,100 watts, folks, and it's 150 volts DC. Some solar panels will cut off around that 60 mark. This is 150, so there's no finagling with little add-ons and all these other weird stuff that makes things more complicated. I love the fact that you can run this thing through an Anderson connector directly into the system and push 2,100 watts max into the system. Now, just imagine if you were using, let's say, a generator and your solar and pushing power into this thing would be charged like that, folks, and that's what you need. Now, for you folks that like the whole technical jargon and like to have the apps running on your phone, this thing does have an app, just like most companies are pushing apps, be it EcoFlow, Blue Yeti, Opus, and the list goes on. Everybody's getting apps. If this is something you decide to do, it does have the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi capabilities. You can control the thing from the apps. And even to work with the Amazon Alexa and the Google Assistants and all that stuff like that. Here's the only thing that I can think of when the apps usually would come in handy. If you have this in a basement or in a garage and it's power goes off and you want to maintain or you want to turn things on and off from the app from your phone, then that would probably make sense. Other than that, I like to kind of physically touch things and kind of look at things, check things out myself. But for those folks out there that like that app capability, they have that built into the system. Opus has definitely stepped up their game since I started working with them, and I'm very proud of the direction that they're going in. Some folks might want to know the weight of this unit, and again, the weight is around 83.3 pounds, and what I love about it is it has wheels and a retractable handle that you can pull out and kind of tote it around if you need to move it from room to room. But they also offer a 36-month warranty on their products. So that's always nice to have when you have, at least some sort of warranty when you purchase or spend your money in something that's like a couple $1,000s that you want to put in there. Now, imagine if you didn't get it on Black Friday, you're looking at $3,000. So whenever you see stuff like that, maybe you don't have enough money on Black Friday, but this is something that you absolutely want. Put some money to the side. I'll put all the affiliate links down below. Any discount codes and all that jazz will be down in the description. And just every once in a while, if you know if it's going to be Cyber Monday, if you know it's going to be Prime Day or Christmas specials or whatever the holidays that all these Labor Day sale, all these different sales, just keep an eye out. The link will always be down in the description. You'll always be able to click on it and you'll always be able to use that code. All right, moving on to part 3. Let's go over the front panel. I know I'm moving quite fast, but I'm trying to condense the time because people always complain you talk too much, Gray. We're going to look at the DC outputs. You're going to have a 12 volt by 30 amp Anderson output. You're going to have 2 PD100s, which are Type-C outputs, which is awesome. They have duals. I like when they have 2 of those PD100s on there because so many things are Type-C these days. And then you're going to have a standard USB, which is a 5 volt, 2 amp. And then you're going to have 3 quick charge outputs as well. And these things are easy to turn on. You have a physical button that you can come here and touch. No touch screen required. You push that DC button. It's going to turn that on, and you'll have that available to you. All right, in the DC output, you have one, basically, I call it a cigarette adapter, which is a 12 volt by 10 amp output there. And as well, you also have 2 barrel connectors that you can plug in for DC outputs. Again, you can just push that DC button there. It's going to power that on, which is going to power that section. Then when you're done with it, or if you want to switch out, you can just turn that off with that button. So let's move to the most important thing, which a lot of people will be using too, is the pure sine wave inverter, which it does have a phenomenal one. It is a 100 watt by 120 volt, 3600 watt pure sine wave inverter. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AC outputs, and they're at 20 amps max, which is nice. Some of them are 15 amps on the smaller units. This one is 20 amps. Again, all you have to do is push the AC button here, which is going to activate this whole section, and then you'll have your AC power turned on. And of course, you can push that button again to turn that thing off. Moving on to something that a lot of power stations don't have is this 30 amp RV plug. As you can see here, it says RV on there, recreational, whatnot, but it's a 30 amp output. There's other things that you can do with it. I don't have nothing on hand that I can use to show that. All right, so let's move up to the top part and just kind of, some people are going to ask, how do you turn this thing on? Again, there's a button at the top. You hold that button down and you'll see that this thing will turn on, and then you see your screen there. Now you can push the other button next to it, which says IoT. Don't know what IoT means, but basically that's going to turn your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi settings on to connect the unit if you're going to be using an app. Now when you look at the screen, there's certain things you can do. Like if I push the DC button on this side, you can see that the DC area is going to pop up. Down here with the AC side of the things, you push the AC button, you'll see that little thing highlight right there. And as it highlights, you can see again, you have all the information on the screen that you would need to kind of give you all the ins and outs of what's happening and watch the draw and so on and so forth. All right, now this is going to be simple enough. You have the AC cord that goes into the unit to power the unit. And then right underneath it, you're going to see your Anderson input there, which is going to be your solar. Now, if you read under there, you can see what it's rated at. So, you know, you always want to pay attention to stuff like that so that when you use something like that, you're using the proper amount of input that you're trying to put in there voltage-wise and so on and so forth. Now, one really interesting thing about this unit, it does have a couple of built-in breakers. As you can see here, you got one that'll tell you your AC in and one that's for your AC out. And they're very easy. You can slap them down, you can slap them up. Whatever's going to work for you, whatever you're trying to do, it does have some built-in breakers, so that's a different redundancy to help you with your issues if anything happens to arise. Last but not least, this is going to be your extra battery port. It is a monster right there. Unfortunately, I don't have a B2 battery. Maybe Opus is going to send me one. I don't know. If it does, we'll kind of do an overview of it and look at it and how it works. But it's a B2 battery, which is going to extend your watt hours. So this was capable of, I think, adding 2 B2 batteries to this, if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm wrong, but hopefully I'm right. Anyways, but this is going to be the receptacle where you would plug in that additional battery. So that's around the world of the Opus Mega 3 and all the inputs and outputs. Let's go have some fun and let's get into the testing. All right, folks. This is my favorite part of doing portable power station reviews, is the testing. I did charge this thing up to 100. I did do a little clip here that I'll show you of me charging the unit itself, but I want to be fair in regards to it. I didn't reach 1800 because this is the cord to charge the Opus. This is the extension cord that I'm using that kind of goes into my little thing here, and that connects all the way over here to this power brick of stuff that I got going on that powers the entire garage, basically. So just to be fair to the Opus, I wanted to show you that clip, but I wanted to be fair that the reason why there was a lot of, let's say, resistance per se in regards to the power getting to the unit. If I would have plugged it directly into the wall, it would have probably charged a lot faster, but it did very, very well. From 60, I think it was at 60% all the way to 100% in little to no time. All right, so enough of that. Let's see what we're going to do here, what we got on the table. We have an AC unit. We have a dual hot plate, and then we have the heater. These things are all high drain appliances, from the AC unit to the hot plates to the heater. We're going to start off with the AC, which is the lowest draw of them all. Then we'll move on to the heater, and then we'll move on to the hot plate itself. We're going to plug in the AC unit right here, plug that thing in there, upside down. Woe is me, did I make a mistake? Anyways, so that's going to be plugged in there. I'm going to go ahead and power the AC by pushing this button, and you're going to see that that clicks on, that pops up, and as you can see, there's little to no draw on that. The AC unit is kind of got its power now, the little button there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing on and look at the draw. Now the draw is going to differ initially because it's just going to be blowing normally until the compressor kicks on, and then we'll see that pull, what we call a surge. And that's why portable power stations that have a higher surge work better for units like this that kind of surge, just like your refrigerator. When it kicks on, the compressor kicks on, there's a surge. So when you're looking at buying these units, make sure that it has enough surge that it won't shut down or throw the unit into an error. So let's go ahead and power this thing on. And hear that. My apologies for the wind. We were at 194, 93. It's kind of steady there. And I'm assuming as soon as the compressor kicks on, we'll see that jump in power. There it goes. You saw that? but it handled it with no issues. So now that the AC is running efficiently, or basically not efficiently, but the compressor is kicked on, you can see if we were to run that AC with the compressor continuously running, depending on the size room that you're going to cool, you're only going to get about 3 hours out of that. But remember, after the compressor kicks off and the room comes to temp, you will get a lot more longevity out of that. I just kind of wanted to show you the unit running and the AC blowing cold. I know people are like, crazy, Gray, it's November. What are you doing with an AC? Well, I'm in Florida, and we love AC down here in Florida. All right, so let's take a look at this heater here just so you guys can see. The draw on this is up to 1500 watts, 120 volts, 60 hertz. And we're going to go ahead and flip this thing around, and we're going to plug in the heater. I've decided to do a little bit more longer parts on the testing because of the fact that it's a very important part of the units, because this is what matters the most. Outside of price and size and all that stuff like that, is can it run certain devices. All right, so the heater is in the off mode, and it's at minimum right now. So we're going to go ahead and just turn the fan on, move that over, and then we're going to turn this to max. You should be able to hear that kick on. In fan mode, 21 watts. 50 hours, 51 hours. Let's turn the heater on low. See what we get. The heater's going to kick on. As you can see, the watts shooting up. The fans on the side of the unit are kicking on. Now this is a little bit loud, but I give the Opus credit because the heat dissipation on this thing is phenomenal compared to a lot of units that I've tested in the past. I'll have to start showing you guys the heat thing. I think it got up as high as like 96, 97 degrees, which is actually very impressive on a full load. But that's the heater on low. Now we're going to crank it up to high. Of course, I have the fan on high as well on max. Let's crank that thing up to high and watch that shoot up. But you can hear that fan now, huh? So look at that. You're only going to get, oh, I hate when the screens do that, but I guess it's to conserve power. Anyways, you're looking at 1500 watts almost. It went all up to 15 and change, and then it went up to, it dropped down to the 1400 range. But look, this is what I mean. You're only going to get an hour. Now, in an emergency, do what you need to do. If you need to heat yourself, and this is the only option you have, anything is better than nothing. I'd rather you heat yourself and stay warm, but I would definitely do it in a small room. I mean, you can use candles, you can use other methods. Some of those methods could be dangerous. Maybe you have a propane heater or something like that that's a little bit better. But this is just kind of give you guys an idea that the unit can handle, you know, heavy draws and run smoothly, even with something as powerful as that little tiny heater. Imagine you had something twice the size of this thing. You'd be maxing this thing out. You might get like a half hour out of it. The reason I like to do this, again, is because these are high draw appliances that I don't expect most people to use, but in an emergency it can come in handy. Outside of the hot plate, this is something I would use because it's something that you're going to boil water or cook food. So it's a very short burst of power that you're going to be using. And then, of course, if you're running solar, you can recharge this unit back up. All right, I think we've done enough with the heater because I'm hot, so I'm going to turn it off. And again, we're starting at 0. Turn the hot plate. I'm just going to go high automatically. Turn this burner on high and see where we're at. 686. And it's holding steady. I've noticed some appliances are very particulate. They run more efficient than others. They don't fluctuate that much. But that's the hot plate on one side. So as you can see, you had 3 hours. And I mean, what couldn't you cook in 3 hours? How long does it take to boil water? Maybe 8 to 12 minutes. So you can kind of see where I'm going with how hot plates can definitely be an appliance that you could utilize with a unit like this. I think it'd be very beneficial to folks having either a single hot plate or a dual hot plate, depending on what you got going on. But let's say you're going to boil water and then maybe heat up some beans or whatever you're going to do on the other side of things. But yeah, not too bad. So let's go ahead and turn on the other side. And if I'm moving too fast here and moving the camera around too fast, my apologies. I'm just trying to move efficiently. There goes the fans kicking on. We can hear that. Maybe you guys can hear that. I'll get closer to the fans there. It does a really good job of cooling the system and keeping it at temp. So as you can see, we're at 1730 with both sides. Now there is a difference in hot plates because this is a large hot plate and this is a little bit smaller, so like large and medium per se. So the heating element on the other side is a little bit bigger. So if you're running both, you have an hour to get your cooking done. I think you could still cook what you need to cook in an hour. I'm just trying to see if it levels off there. It looks like it's leveled off at 1727. All right, so the next phase is to set this unit into failure by turning on the heater, which I'm not a fan of. I want to reiterate that. So here goes. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the heater, but while I'm turning it on, I'm going to keep the camera focused in on the screen so that we can see the error code that most likely will pop up once we bring this thing up to its max capacity. All right, heater's on low. Of course, the screen turns off. Not doing very much there. Let's just max it out, turn the heater on high. There we go. There we're pushing it. We're still under that 3600, folks. Can the Opus Mega 3 handle running 3,200 watts roughly, consistently? And it dropped down. So running the heater and the hot plates. I mean, 94%, this is not bad. We've been pushing this thing, folks. Hot plates running. Heaters running. We're cooking and we're staying toasty. Opus is having no trouble. Folks, if you guys have watched my videos in the past, some units, whenever they run, or when I run both of these units, they just can't handle it. They will shut off, they will throw error codes, they will have all kinds of issues. Very thoroughly impressed with the Opus Mega 3. Maybe if I get lucky, I'll get to review the Mega 5 down the road, and we'll see how far we can push that. I could plug the AC unit on there, but I know that this thing, if I was to push another 1500 watts into this, it would automatically fail. It wouldn't destroy the unit because it has a BMS system in there. All right, folks. So I really enjoyed that. I like pushing the Opus to see where it goes and how well it did with all the testing that we did on it. I love to use the hot plate, the heater, and the AC just because they're very high drain type of appliances. I would assume most folks aren't going to use what I'm using. Most people might use a fire to heat food, but if you did need to use a single hot plate, you can see how the dual hot plate did on that, and it did very well. The Opus handled everything I threw at it pretty good with not any issues that I could see from there. And but like I said, you want to kind of keep things within its range. You don't really want to push things too far. I mean, I like to sometimes just to see how the unit responds to it. But I suggest you, the viewers, if you're going to spend $2,000 or plus on a unit like this, you wouldn't do that. All right, now in regards to the giveaway stuff. All right, so folks, a lot of people, I've been saying it, I've been trying to get it out there, I've been trying to say it on live streams and community tabs and every video that I've been doing this week in regards to the November 21st, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time giveaway. Opus has been so kind to donate something to the giveaway. It's going to be a doozy, which I'm really happy that they did, man. I was very impressed that they were like, hey, would you like to give this away? I'm not going to tell you what they're giving away, except I'm going to reveal it on the live stream. Now, here's what I've been doing on the last few videos. If you leave a comment down under this video, regardless of what the comment is, let's say your thoughts on the Opus, what would you use the Opus for? Do you have a preference in brand? Do you want a portable power station? Do you think that you rather have this or that? You know, having a gas generator has these benefits versus a solar generator and their benefits. Do you like to have both as multiple redundancies? Anything, or just, hey, Gray, enjoyed the video. This is for the algorithm. I'm going to leave a comment and a thumbs up, which is always truly appreciated. But you'll be entered in another drawing that I'm going to be some things that I'm going to be giving away with that. So I'm trying to give everybody 2 chances on each video that I've been doing throughout the week, because I'm going to draw from the comments in these videos during the live stream. The live stream will have its own individual giveaways from companies as well as myself, but I'm also going to give people like a round 2 giveaway. As all you have to do is drop a comment. No matter what it is, it'll be fine. Even if you want to say, Gray, you talk too dang much. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, remember, folks, you are not alone. This is Gray Man. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless each and every one of you. And again, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and see you guys on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.